And whose team is this? Is this your team, or is this your daddy's team?
Thanks for listening to the Dad Mode Podcast, common sense parenting in a politically correct world. Here's your host, Andy Carlson.
Welcome back to the Dad Mode Podcast, common sense parenting in a politically correct world. I'm your host, Andy Carlson, at Andy Carlson Show on the Twitter machine. I'm a father. I have no idea what I'm doing, but you and either they're chiefy, so let's try and learn something together today. Website is dadmodepod.com. Get the show at dadmodepod, or just use the hashtag dadmode. Also on Facebook and Instagram. All those other things. Back and with the brand new fresh episode. Thank you so much for sitting with us through the rebroadcast in the summer. Remember as a kid when you would have summers off and you were just able to fill up 3 months of sports and baseball and fishing and hanging out and being kind of a ne'er-do-well and grilling out and just vegging. Going to the pool every single day. Yeah, those were the days. Yeah, you only get those if you're a school-age child or a teacher. Yeah. Today, pardon the voice, as my voice a little cracks there. Been an interesting health week. The voice, it'll be fine. But let's suffice to say, being sick in June, no bueno. But wanted to crank out this episode, and the title of the episode is "My Daughter is Cute. Crap. Now what?" And it's a topic I've been wanting to talk about for a while, but I know that there's a certain way not to go about this. There's a certain way where this comes out completely misogynistic, completely 1950s thinking, completely knuckle-dragging caveman, right? So, going to preface that with that and saying that this is absolutely not what this is intended to be. And in life, always think about intention. You know, what is a person trying to accomplish? And it drives me nuts when a celebrity or well-known person says something on Twitter or in public, and you know for a fact it was not their intention to offend group XYZ. Like, that's what they weren't setting out to do. But group XYZ, but really like two people in group XYZ, say that they're offended, and then the celebrity has to come out and said, "I apologize, please. I apologize to anyone I offended. It was not my intention." And it's true. It was not the intention. So this conversation is not to be sexist, not to be anything like that. I think it's a very pragmatic and conversation, and one that parents that have good-looking kids should be having, or should be having internally with their spouse. Hell, even with the kids. Yeah, with the kids. If you want to support the show, dadmodepod.com/Amazon. It'll take you right to the home page for Amazon. Bookmark the link. Every time you buy something through Amazon, use that link, and we'll get a couple nickels in our pocket. That's how you keep us afloat. That's how you keep us just rolling along. So let's get into this. Help, my kid is too cute. Now, Margaret is a cutie patootie, and even if she was ugly as a mule, I she's my little girl. I mean, she would be the apple of my eye, the star up in the sky, the mountain peak up high. You know, she would be. She's my baby girl. So even if she was a -6 on a scale of 10, I mean, she'd still be the most beautiful person in the world to me, and that's how every parent feels for the most part. Yeah, for the most part. But being and this could be a combination of people being nice, this could people being objective, but every time we meet someone and they meet Margaret for the first time, or we're seeing someone again that we haven't seen in weeks, and it's just like, oh, she is so cute, she's so beautiful, she's such a little baby doll. And I get it. Objectively, Margaret is going to be a good-looking person. I mean, she is aesthetically pleasing, and not trying to go all Donald Trump on the bit. I'm just trying to say, objectively, my daughter is going to be a good-looking person. Now, this opens up a few issues, and they're definitely first-world issues. I mean, in terms of level of problems, going from the central air is too cold, and I don't want to get up because the app on my phone is locked up, so I have to manually get up off this plush sofa and turn down the air conditioning, to all the way down to we're starving and a typhoon just came through and washed away our village and our goat. Yeah, this is much more former than the latter. I get that. But you want to set your kid up for success and achievement in their adult life. And there's a big issue. And you know exactly the ones I'm talking about. The ones that simply skate by on their looks. And this is more prevalent with females, but there is a male version of this as well. I mean, look at Brad Pitt. I'm pretty sure Brad Pitt has an IQ of a potato, but since he's so good looking, and since he plays roles where he regurgitates lines that are written on a page for him, usually of a scientist or a doctor or a stock market genius, that people think that he's smarter than he is. No, I think Brad Pitt is probably kind of dumb and actually just like a giant stoner, as we've sort of seen. But since he's so damn good looking, he skated by his entire life. Also, there's an episode of 30 Rock, or a couple episodes, where Liz is dating, what's his name? I can't remember the character's name, but it's John Hamm. And he's this absolute idiot, but he's a doctor because he's just always leveled up because of the good looks. So don't get me wrong. There is a male version of this as well. And there have been studies that the good-looking, not 300-pound guy will get the corner office over someone who may be more qualified, but kind of ugly or overweight. I get that. That's a whole Pandora's box. We won't go down there. But sticking with the female, with Margaret, just think about back to your high school days. Think about back to the good-looking girls in your high school. And now, if you're of a certain age, if you're 30, 35, I just turned 32. Think about where a couple of them are now. Yeah. Like, a lot of them, wives, housewives, no, they're not running Nabisco. They're not titans of industry yet. And this is not disparaging of that. But think back, if you're good looking in high school, boy or girl, your high school weekends are going to be full of dates and parties instead of working that job at the gas station, or studying, or taking summer classes, or doing post-secondary education, trying to graduate high school early, getting free college credits, etc. Yeah, not really doing that. And the gap widens as things go along. In college, the good-looking ones, that calendar, that social calendar is always jam-packed on the weekends, and you're not in the library. You're not the library at, I'm going to say anyone above 7 out of 10 on the objective aesthetic scale. They end in the library at 11:14 on a Saturday night. Just a wild guess. So after college, that gap widens even more in the professional levels. And this is going to come out wrong, but you don't see too many drop-dead gorgeous corporate lawyers, male or female. You really don't. But for the ladies, you do see a lot of 40, 50-year-old, used to be the hottest girl in their high school, hottest girl at their liberal arts college, as the suburban housewives that are unfulfilled, on 7 types of pills that end in lozapam, having that first glass of Chardonnay starts creeping up a little bit earlier and earlier every single day. Used to be at 4. It's happy hour. Suddenly, 2 ain't so bad. And then all of a sudden, well, it's 10 o'clock, but Hody and Kathy Lee are having a glass, so why not me? And it just never develops. And what it is, it does come back to parenting. you don't want kids to skate by on their looks. And I definitely don't want that for Muggsy, because sort of getting out ahead of this thing, she's a cute kid now, and, knock on wood, God willing, for her, she'll turn into a beautiful, wonderful adult. And that comes with a whole, I have to buy a shotgun to fend off all the boys in high school, but that's, another argument for another day. I don't want Margaret to be known as the hot chick in her high school. I really don't. I want her to be known as the hardworking academic overachiever, the athletic superstar who always puts in the work if that's the path she wants to go down, or the girl who kicks ass as a DJ or on the violin or whatever endeavor she wants to get into. Yeah, I want her to be known not as that hot chick from college. I want her to be known as the aerospace engineer from JPL. Yeah, that's what I want for my daughter. Oh yeah, who also happens to look good. Just as a toss-in aside. And this does start with parenting. This is what drives me nuts about the pageant circuit, and that's why I've also forbidden the pageant circuit from ever entering Margaret's lives. I've told the wife this many times. Like, if you even sniff around doing a Toddlers and Tiaras-esque pageant, I will file for divorce. I will sue for custody, and I will win, because I'll get a judge that understands, and then we'll high five afterwards. It'll be great. But the pageants thing, I understand it builds self-esteem, but I don't want being good-looking presented to a kid as a skill, because it is not. It's an ancillary, a genetic lottery, God's face shining upon you thing. It is not a skill. It is not something that you can bank on long term. It's not something that's going to bring you fulfillment down the line, because by the time you turn 70, we're all going to be old, ugly, and wrinkly anyways. And beauty is fleeting, but stupid is forever. And all right, so little aside. So the wife's family very heavily into dance. Now, like team dance, that is a sport. That's an activity. That's definitely something that's very, very cool. But some of these other ancillary dance things that are quote unquote dance but are really more pageants, those bug me. The line's starting to be blurred. Yeah, and it's on the parents. Like, if you know your kid's good looking, and not just through your own eyes, but objectively, the world is going to say, wow, your daughter, your son is very good looking, handsome, beautiful, whatever. It's on you to really be pushing that, hey, academics, hard work, achievement, classroom, or wherever you put your, wherever you hang your shingle of what you want to do, whether it be sports, whether it be the arts, whether it be music, whether it be whatever, make sure that you're outworking the person next to you, because you don't want your looks to get you through life. And as a very handsome person, no, I'm just kidding. I'm ugly as a dog, but so maybe this is where it is a little jaded, and this is still coming out a little half-baked. I'm still trying to completely form what I want to say here, but if you're the parent who has the hot daughter, has the good-looking son, and then you just let them off the world, let them be them, laissez-faire, and they're breaking curfew, and let them go out every single night in high school, and make sure that their 1.4 GPA in college is just fine with you. You'll keep cutting the checks for tuition. That's setting the kid up for failure. That really is, because you're not going to stay good looking forever. I mean, we're not all Helen Mirren up in this world. And like we mentioned before, the suburban housewives that used to be good looking in their teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and now all of a sudden they're 50. I mean, what do you have to hang your hat on? What do you have in your life that you're going to feel fulfilled about? I mean, your best asset, the thing that you had all of your eggs in, that one basket, is gone. She gone. Good looks train is pulled out of the station. And, yeah, the whole first world problem of this just absolutely amuses me. But here we are. Muggsy's cute. She's good looking. Have even gotten emails from like local modeling agencies, and I'm just like, I don't know. I really don't know what to do. Because on one hand, if she wanted to do a couple of childhood spots for local companies like baby food, baby clothes, whatever, we took that money away in a growth plan for her, whether it be I don't like 529s, but a mutual fund, a very safe mutual fund for her, something that's not going to dip up and down, or maybe even like treasury bonds, something that's completely safe, that's going to grow at inflation, but whatever. Sock that away for college. That would be huge. That would absolutely be huge, but I don't know. Because initially you had to worry if you have a good-looking daughter about the boys, but also you have to worry about themselves. Yeah, and that's all. If you enjoy the Dad Mode, if you're able to stick it out, tell a friend, spread the word. We're available on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and follow us on Twitter at DadModePod, me and Andy Carlson Show. Also on Snapchat, Instagram at Andy Carlson Show. Website is dadmodepod.com. But until next time, be a man, be a father, go Dad Mode, and we'll smell you later.
Think the episode you just heard is worth $1? Well, send it our way. Visit dadmodepod.com/support to find out how. Be a man, be a father. Go Dad Mode. The music is created and produced by Deeb. To hear more of his tracks, visit soundcloud.com/Deeb.